It's time to head back to Morrisons and Magic Rock with their higher wire tropical pale ale. 5.5%. But what's it going to be like? Keep watching to find out. Welcome back to Rocker's Beer Review. Today we're going to be reviewing this beer. This is from Magic Rock. It's Magic Rock Brewing. It's a higher wire tropical. Now, we have higher wire grapefruit, I think it is. This is a tropical version of it. So it's 5.5% in a 440ml can. I think this was $2.40 or something like that. It wasn't that expensive. Magic Rock, you know, they're at the lower end of the market. Their beer is okay. I've never had anything great. I quite like Clairvoyant, although it's a while since I had that. So maybe, you know, when I drink it now, I think, yeah, it wasn't that great. But, you know, these other beers, we'll see what it's like. Let's crack it open, get it in a glass, see what it's all about. I've got a few beers, and this one is one that I'm not, I suppose I just have low expectations of it. So it's been sitting in the back of my fridge, and I thought I'd, you know, drink it now because I'm thirsty and I haven't got anything left. So beer in a glass, well, you look at it there, that looks like lager. That's pretty clear. I mean, that is as lager looking as you can get. Quite a lot of head, 3 fingers of head. I think that's obviously I poured it too fast. Clear, not a hazy pale ale, but a fairly clear one. Let's see what the sort of aromas are like. Yeah, a little bit subdued. I mean, I'm picking up grapefruit, considering this is the tropical version. I'm picking up grapefruit, and it smells a little bit like sort of a fruit concentrate in terms of its aroma. I'm that thirsty though, I'm just going to get cut right in. Cheers, everyone. Yeah, that tastes, it's got a real artificial sort of taste to it. It's a lot of, when you first sort of drink it, you think, oh, I'm getting quite a lot of maltiness. And I'm getting what I think is lager, basically. But then there's this sort of fruitiness that's on the top. I mean, calling it tropical, there is grapefruit in there. There is mango. There's other fruits, peach even. But it's all very, very... I don't often wonder if there's any actual hops in this beer, because it almost tastes like it's on a lagery sort of base, and then they've just added a bit of concentrate in there just to give it a tropical sort of flavour. It tastes cheap, and you know, and unfortunately it's not great. I mean, it doesn't look too bad in the glass. The head's not too bad. Let's have another go for see what the body's like. It's reasonably soft. The twang though in there, it's just so sort of typical of these very cheap beers that sort of palm. I mean, if you drank that and you never had craft beer before, you'd probably go, I'm going to stick to the lager, because it is night and day with the likes of the sort of beers that, yeah, twice as much in terms of price, but even then, you know, you think of some of the beers that you can get in supermarkets, the Northern Monk ones, Salt Alpaca. I mean, even other ones like the Citra, the little Citra one, which was from Arbor, the little New England IPA from Salt. Oh, just a streets ahead of this. And to be honest, even the other beers, you know, we've got the Glide, the Shoot to Thrill. They're much better than this. This is just basically lager with some added stuff in it to try and make it fruity. And it's just not very good. It's not very good at all. Yeah, it's like a lager that's someone's dropped something fruity, a bit of fruit cordial in it. That's what it tastes like to me. It's very poor and it can't be recommended. But let's get some scores anyway. Okay, the scores are in for High Wire Tropical Pale Ale, 5.5% from Magic Rock. Spoiler alert, this beer is not very good. Even for a supermarket standard, it's probably there as into one of the worst supermarket beers I have. It's not horrible in terms of flavour, but it's just, it's a sacrilege, I think, to call this beer craft beer, because it's not craft at all. It has these promises of something tropical, but it's all made very in an artificial way. We'll go through the scores. Aroma. Well, when I first popped it, and I thought, oh, it's a nice sort of fruitiness, but it smells sickly sweet, syrupy even, like fruit sweets, sort of like boiled sweets, basically, that sort of aroma. It just doesn't smell right for a beer. But at the end of the day, it's not bad. It's just, I'm not expecting it with beer. If I opened up a bag of sweets and I put my nose in, and that's what I smell, I think, oh, these smell all right. And that's what it smells like. But I'm giving it 12 for aroma. And that's probably still generous. Appearance. Well, I mean, pouring it out, a pale ale, this looks like lager. I mean, it looks like lager. It's an orangey, there's not even much of a haze. I've seen more haze on lagers, to be honest. It's quite a clear looking, there's a little, there's a bit of retained head, but it's not, there's no real lacing of the glass there. It's quite clean, really. It's very lager-like anyway. I'm giving it a 6 for appearance. Flavour-wise, well, it's cold. That's about it. You're getting that, from that aroma of those sort of boiled sweets, you're getting that flavour as well. Whether you can pick out, I'm sitting here now and I'm thinking, I'm picking a bit of orange, a bit of, it's like every sort of flavour of sort of fruit sweet that you may have had is sort of all mixed in here. Tastes very artificial. It's very thin. I wouldn't say it's overly carbonated, which surprisingly, really, could have been carbonated, could have been even worse. There's a little bit of refreshment, but to me, it all tastes a little bit like a malty sort of lager with a sort of fruit syrupy concentrate put in, and that's probably exactly what they've done to it. So I can't recommend it. It's not something I want to drink. I mean, and it's got this sort of drying, sort of slightly sort of coating flavour, which again, it's all the artificialness that has obviously gone in top of the beer that's like made a bad beer even worse. So I'm giving it 26 for flavour. Sometimes, the scores that I do on this channel really are gained towards the sort of above average beers. So as soon as you're getting low sort of scores, it's, 26 sounds quite generous, but if a beer is anywhere reasonably drinkable and decent, it's going to go over 30, and this 26 probably should be even lower than that. But 26, I'm not sure who's going to like this beer really, but that's it. 26 for flavour. Value for money, as I say, £2. I think it was £2.40 is this beer. It's not worth £2.40. When I think I've paid £2.40 for Heaven 7.2% IPA from Sainsbury's, that beer is probably 10 times better than this. So value for money, even though it's cheap, it's shit. So I'm giving it 6 out of 10. And then my overall experience, well, I'm probably thirsty enough to drink it, but it doesn't taste like beer. It doesn't taste like craft beer. It's almost like take a bad lager, put some sweety flavour in it, and that's what you've got with this. Avoid it, I'd say. I'm giving it 9 for overall experience out of 20. Tighten the scores up, 59. That's the Coldplay. That's, another one of the lowest score beers. So all I can say is if you see this beer in your supermarkets, don't buy it, because there are loads more beers that are much better than this. So save your money and buy them instead. I mean, look at my channel, look at the supermarket beers I've got on there. 3 or 4 ones in Morrisons, 3 or 4 in Sainsbury's, 3 or 4 in Tesco that are a lot better than this, like almost twice as good. So give it a swerve. They have got an IPA in there as well, and I'm probably not even going to buy that and review it because I expect it to be as bad as this. So 59 out of 100, not recommended, rubbish beer. Give it a complete swerve. Magic Rock, they get a lot of grief because they're macro, they're not proper craft beer, but I think they used to be reasonably good, probably for quite a few years ago, but now they just pour out that sort of, they're up there, well, they're down there, I'd say, with the likes of Brewdog and maybe even to some extent Tiny Rebel with their sort of very artificial beers. Not great. So, hope you've enjoyed this review. I hope it at least makes you realise that I have to buy them, drink the beers, so you don't have to. And until the next one, keep on rocking.